Powered by the Montana Television Network. This is the Noon News from Montana's news leader.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining us on your MTN Statewide News this Monday. I'm Jeanelle Slade. Well, Montana state health leaders confirmed 37 new COVID-19 cases today, pushing the state's active cases into the 500 range. And 149 of them are active in Yellowstone County. The next largest influx is Gallatin County with 50 active cases and 48 in Bighorn County. Now, since the pandemic began, nearly 103,000 Montanans have been tested. In Wyoming, 52 new positive cases were announced yesterday. 373 people are currently infected with the virus in the Cowboy State. Campbell County added 11 new cases, the most in the state. Well, we're learning more about how the coronavirus is spread. A group of health experts warns that even tiny droplets from your mouth or nose can float in the air and be breathed in deeply to the lungs. More than 200 scientists from around the world are planning to publish an open letter to the World Health Organization asking it to be more forthright in explaining how the virus can transmit in the air. Now, President Trump is being criticized for claiming most coronavirus cases are, in his words, harmless. Natalie Brand brings us more details from the White House.
The White House is defending President Trump's 4th of July speech in which he appeared to downplay surging coronavirus cases.
99% of which are totally harmless.
The claim came even as the number of cases rose in most states heading into the holiday weekend. The White House says the president was pointing out death rates for most people are low.
It's not to downplay the deaths that we've had, but it's really to look statistically to know that whatever risk that you may have or I may have or my children or my grandchildren may have, let's look at that appropriately, and I think that's what he was trying to do.
Deaths from the virus are down, but health experts worry that could change.
The total number of deaths is going to start going up again as the number of hospitalizations starts to spike again. So we're going to see deaths creep up, and I wouldn't be surprised in the next 2 weeks to see deaths go over 1,000.
The president's re-election campaign announced he will hit the road again this weekend to hold another in-person campaign rally, this time in New Hampshire, where coronavirus cases have been declining.
Attendees will be given masks and encouraged to wear them. 8 campaign staffers tested positive after setting up the president's Tulsa, Oklahoma rally last month.
I know that we had a few people on our advanced team that came down with it, but I'm not aware of anything that came from the Tulsa rally.
Herman Cain, the co-chair of Black Voices for Trump, was hospitalized with the coronavirus 9 days after attending the Tulsa rally, where he was photographed without wearing a mask. Natalie Brand, CBS News, the White House.
And Kimberly Guilfoyle, Donald Trump Jr.'s girlfriend and a fundraiser for President Trump's campaign, has also tested positive for COVID-19. She also attended the Tulsa rally last month. Well, it's now time to check in on the weather scene with meteorologist Ed McIntosh, and a heads up for Montanans in the east today.
That's for sure. Yeah, even more so as we get into tomorrow. Let's go ahead and take a look regionally for today. We've got some showers and thunderstorms. This actually could be a good thing for you around Miles City over towards Baker. See that initial round moving through that's bringing some showers, and that may actually help out with the possibility of severe weather being diminished later in the day. But you can see this large area from eastern Montana extending to the Great Lakes states where we have scattered showers and thunderstorms possible for later in the afternoon. Large hail, damaging winds, even an isolated tornado perhaps in southeast Montana is possible. But tomorrow that chance is even higher across the eastern plains. That's about the highest risk level we've seen so far this season. Closer look at the forecast coming up in a few minutes.
All right, thanks so much, Ed. Well, officials now confirm 3 people died in an early morning fire in Corvallis. All victims are believed to be adults. The Ravalli County Sheriff says investigators are looking into a suspicious fire that sparked at an apartment complex on Main Street about 2:15 a.m. Corvallis Fire, along with Hamilton, Pinesdale, and Victor fire departments, were able to contain the fire to one building. The state fire marshal and an independent fire investigator are assisting in Ravalli County with that investigation. Officials believe 8 people are dead after 2 planes collided in air yesterday. It happened Sunday afternoon over Coeur d'Alene Lake. Well, local authorities say first responders recovered 2 of the bodies, but the aircraft sank before they could find the other 6. Multiple children are among the dead. Floating debris was found with a pretty bad oil slick on the water. Well, in Helena, signs supporting the police are being placed on lawns all across the city after leaders decided to withhold hundreds of thousands of dollars in the police department budget while they review the way it operates. The 406 Back the Blue campaign gained thousands of Facebook followers after it was created. The founder says the organization and its signs are meant to be a visual thank you for all law enforcement. So far, there has been no timetable set for a review of the Helena Police Department. We'll talk of fewer students starting college in the fall is reflected in the number of federal aid applications. Between March and April, 45% less students applied for the aid than the year before. As of late June, overall applications were down by 70,000. Studies show students who complete the free application for federal student aid are more likely to enroll in college. President Trump signed legislation ending the deadline for businesses to apply for a loan under the Paycheck Protection Program. The PPP was established in March as part of the coronavirus relief bill. Since then, nearly 5 million small businesses have applied for more than $500 billion in potentially forgivable loans. Officials say there is $130 million of PPP loans left. The deadline to apply for the program is now August 8th. And if you're heading to Yellowstone National Park, you may now be able to get a room. The Sandpiper Lodge at Lake Yellowstone Hotel opened over the weekend. July 10th, a limited number of premium rooms will be available at Old Faithful Snow Lodge and Suites at Canyon Lodge. July 17th, some rooms at Mammoth Hot Springs Hotel will open up. Now, food service is unchanged with only takeout. Xanterra operated facilities now require people to wear face coverings when indoor public spaces and when not able to maintain proper distance in the outdoors. Well, a look overseas where Italy's Coast Guard is studying just how much has changed in the Mediterranean Sea while tourists have been away. Ian Lee reports.
For marine life, it's home. For researchers, it's an opportunity. The months of the lockdown have given marine biologists unprecedented access to the sea. Divers with the Italian Coast Guard are collecting water samples before the summer crowds return. The lockdown represented a unique opportunity to evaluate human impact, diver Alessandro MINO says, to evaluate how marine life regained spaces that human activity had eroded. In addition to water samples, he and other divers filmed underwater footage and conducted a census of marine life. While the official results aren't available yet, researchers confirmed the waters around Italy are visibly cleaner and clearer than before the lockdown. With people forced to stay at home, marine life began moving closer to shore, with jumping dolphins replacing container ships, and near Sicily, a pod of sperm whales silently swims where once roaring motorboats raced. But officials fear the improvements could be short-lived. Once the lockdown lifts, COVID waste, those masks and empty bottles of hand sanitizer, could find their way to the seas. This beauty has been given to us on loan, he says, and we must preserve it and give it to our children. Lessons from the lockdown for a future generation. Ian Lee, CBS News, London.
Now, the results of the study are expected later this month. Well, fireworks flew off the shelves as Americans celebrated the 4th of July holiday this weekend. It seems folks around the U.S. turned to creating big booms to cure their boredom. Consumer fireworks sales, including sparklers and firecrackers, more than doubled. Compared to last year, demand increased at least 115%. Ahead on your new news, we'll introduce you to Montana's own original version of Woody the Woodpecker. The time now is 12:09, but first, meteorologist Ed McIntosh is next with your statewide weather forecast.